So tell us what your thoughts are about big pharma and medical schools and pharmacy schools.
Well, I think, unfortunately, like the hospital system, it's the corporatization of medicine. Pharma really has become a behemoth. You cannot watch a television show without seeing, 30-minute television show, you probably see 7 different advertisements, TV commercials for different medications, okay? The budget that they need for advertising is enormous. Furthermore, their motivation is for you to take their medicine, not to get well so that you don't need their medication, okay? Almost all of these medicines you are seeing, whether it's something for psoriasis, something for diabetes, something for erectile dysfunction, something for whatever it is, they intend you to get on that medication and to take it in perpetuity. There is no interest on their part at all, quite the opposite, for you to get off of that medication. Furthermore, they keep creating new medicines rather than because as soon as a medicine goes off patent and is therefore can be formed in a generic version, there's no money to be made anymore. So therefore they have to create a new one, a better one, a newfangled one, a different formulation. Now it's a long-acting one. Now it's combined with another thing and that is a scam to keep it on patent, to develop a new patent so that there isn't a generic form that's available. If you look at what happened during the pandemic, we had a host of medications, safe, effective, dirt cheap, readily available medications like hydroxychloroquine, like ivermectin, that we knew for a long time would be highly effective against this virus. Yet in order to, number one, roll out brand new patented medications like remdesivir and then subsequently Paxlovid, and most importantly, in order to get the emergency use authorization on the vaccines, they had to claim that there were no medications available. You couldn't have hydroxychloroquine or ivermectin work for, because if they acknowledged that, they would never have been able by law to get emergency use authorization on those vaccines. They would have been forced to go through the prolonged and very diligent study of those vaccines, quote unquote, before they could launch them to the public. So I would submit to you, millions and millions and millions of people died worldwide because we were not allowed to give these medications. Why do I have this crazy idea that hydroxychloroquine would have worked? Let's ask none other than Anthony Fauci. In 2005, the NIH published a big study, 2005, about chloroquine and hydroxychloroquine's efficacy against SARS-CoV-1, the SARS that hit in 2003. They proved and they knew that hydroxychloroquine is extremely effective against this class of viruses. Anthony Fauci and the NIH published it in 2005. So when SARS-CoV-2 hit, we said, well, they're similar. Let's try this very, very safe. Hydroxychloroquine is a drug that's been FDA approved since 1942. Right. It's been on the list of essential medications from the World Health Organization for decades. It is so safe. It's one of the drugs that we readily give with no concern to pregnant people. Okay, you know that pregnancy is sort of the last that we are most concerned about them. So you're talking about a drug so safe, it's available over the counter in almost every country other than the US and Canada. People take it routinely for prophylaxis and treatment of malaria in the entire continent of Africa, India, places. So we're talking about a remarkably safe drug. Yet the fact that it was not patented, therefore dirt cheap, 11 cents a pill, and very, very safe, readily available, that was terrifying to the vaccine manufacturers because you are going to prevent them from getting that EUA, and there was so much money to be made on those vaccines. And as I said, we are living the result of big pharma's ability to manipulate the narrative, to propagandize this, and they had the buy-in. They had the buy-in of all the other players, big tech, platforms like YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and they certainly had the buy-in of the mainstream media. And why is that? As I said, look at the amount of money that big pharma pays to every news outlet, including the conservative ones, other than Newsmax, all of them, MSNBC, CNN, Fox News, they are all bought and paid for by Pfizer, Moderna, and the rest of big pharma.